ho ho and hello for Merry Christmas 2017. It's a bit early, but it is the December issue and it's already been out a week or two. I got my early issue anyway, almost 2 weeks ago. It's a massive read, so I'm going to crack on. December 2017, issue number, what are we on? 362. And the rather unfestive theme, as Daniel Falkenberg says, is machine guns. Bit of a grisly subject. I wasn't really looking forward to reading this one, I have to be honest. I've got those images of grim World War I and mass slaughter and all that, and not really my kind of thing for wargaming, but there we go. It's actually a fantastic issue. Okay, so first of all, we got the man, the legend, Rick Priestley. If I'd known he was going to be there for the Warlord Games 10th anniversary bash, I'd have gone along just to see the great man himself. Some of the big shows that are going on early next year. What we got February, they're going to be in I always get this wrong. Vapnatak, quite right at last. Vapnatak up in New York. Good show. I used to go up there and do impetus tournaments. It's a long way and it's February. Tends to be difficult weather. Anyway, more of that. I've got to race through. Right, subscribe for the magazine. And we've got lots of nice figure reviews. So we've got some nice Napoleonics from Perry Miniatures. Interesting. Parkfield Miniatures. Some Napoleonics I haven't heard of before. Victrix, their long-awaited Macedonian plastic cavalry. And then we've got Gripping Beasts with more figures coming out for Crescent and Cross. The much maligned Saga supplement, but Saga 2 is coming out soon, so maybe they'll work better in that. More North Star, some goblins, plastic goblins. That's be excellent. I could have done with those back in the day when I was doing my big Warhammer armies. Then we have Steve Barber, who I do some painting for on some of his other ranges, so maybe those will come my way at some point, and I get to paint those for the website. Bombshell Miniatures, don't really know much about, but it ties in with the Star Trek Miniatures game, which was reviewed rather interestingly in Miniature Wargames by Mr. Treadaway, but I'll still have to wait for that review, as I've seen mislaid my magazine somehow, and I've got to buy another one, and it's not in stock in Firestorm yet. I get my copies early. Right, there's campaign for Congo game. Congo Mungo Ma Lobe, something like that. It reminds me of the days when Dungeons & Dragons was very popular and used to get scenarios in White Dwarf, that kind of thing. Some historical books, which is kind of wargaming, you know. Oathmark looks good. I do like the dwarves are bringing out. And there's more stuff from North Star by Fire and Sword, their big new game. Right, on to the main feature articles. A little Gatling music. All about the history and use of the Gatling gun. Far more interesting than I expected. I thought I've got to read it to review it, and I'm glad I did. Mike Bradford did an excellent job. All through early introduction. Well, a lot of it seems to be failures, to be honest. Didn't do an awful lot. Not much influence American Civil War, and then the Colonial Wars, and what it was good for. The sort of machine guns he was up against. Some nice eye candy. I recognise some of these paintings. Mr. Dallimore, isn't it? Perry Miniatures. Naval gunners, all right the way up. Use of the very famous Gatling gun. Really interesting article, and I think it killed more people on films than it did in real life, by those of things, but there we are, very interesting. Foundry paints. Foundry Collectibles, including a t-shirt with the Christmas Santa on. I wonder how many of those they sell. Anyway, come on, move on. There's so much in here. Right, Ghost Archipelago. Rule showcases. They do these very well, I have to say. It's a nice big article. This Frostgrave and Ghost Archipelago get a lot of coverage. I don't know if these are paid for advertising or it's just linked. They do a lot of advertising anyway. Very interesting about the philosophy of the game. Enjoyed that. Curtis advertising their usual ranges. More figures from Foundry. And what are they pushing this time? Yeah, so eclectic bunch of figures. One of which is the what do you call them? Judge Dredd 2001 AD, which they've discontinued, unfortunately. It's a beautiful range of figures. Last chance to buy was a week or two ago. So there we go. Right, machine guns in the Great War. I thought it was going to be a very grim article, all about the mass slaughter. It's all a bit too close to home for all of us, as you know. Not that long ago, really. But still, very interesting approach. Different machine guns, how they were used. Machine guns against airplanes and putting machine guns on airplanes, against infantry, cavalry, shooting down zeppelins. Lots of good eye candy. Really interesting, actually. Surprised. So, not as depressing or upsetting a magazine as I thought it was going to be. There's Heinz still collecting stuff. We've got the campaign Road to Berlin for Bolt Action now, so it's very late war indeed. End of war, you could call it, really. Right, what else we got in this issue? It's big. Now, this is a fun article by Peter Brown, I believe, yes. Who's written General de Brigade, and more recently, General de Armée. And, yes, now this is about, what's the exact title? 'Twas the Krampus Nacht before Christmas. Very interesting. I tell you, my boys looked at this, my oldest one who's 9. It was very interesting, and this idea, I like this. I like they are snowman models. I like the idea of the Krampus as well, who comes around before Christmas, and you leave either sticks. If you put sticks in your shoes, that means you're going to get beaten. I like that idea. But anyway, got sort of demonic Krampus figure here. Oh, everyone's coming in now. It's that coming home time. Showed it earlier. Idea of him. Everyone likes to look at that. And then it's a fascinating game. It's good fun. Go on, go buy the magazine quick. A full game written up, rules, everything, and it's about well, it's kind of a child snatching game basically. Good children, bad children. Krampus against Santa, and this is, I suppose, where the Warlord was it Foundry, the Foundry T-shirt with the Santa and the bazooka comes in useful. Anyway, more Flames of War. Guild Ball adverts, they're still pushing that. It's been going around for a long time. Another great article now, The Dawn of the Dogfight. Very interesting. All about early airplanes, different ideas tried by different countries, and how they used, you know, things like synchronized gearing to shoot through the propellers. And then there are problems where some of the early planes, they put the machine guns on the top of the wings so they couldn't unjam them. And rules for playing it, scratch-built models. I mean, it's great. It's like a pamphlet in itself. Adverts, Wild West Exodus. And then, on military matters, range of publications they do, including DBA, which I intend to play soon. Right. Designer's notes on Gaslands, which is a kind of semi-futuristic Mad Max type thing. And I was trying to choose between the various versions. I like the look of the 1930s one, was it Maximilian? And I'm glad I read this article, because this is a bit different. This isn't just a rehash of my old favourite Car Wars from the Steve Jackson game from back in the day. It explains how he designed the game. It's a really good article. If you like inventing games like I do, the process, how to get it from your ideas into paper, to play testing, to published. So really it's the article from that point of view. And regards this game particularly, it's kind of set up as a kind of, it's a TV program. A bit like the old Running Man it reminded me of. The book, Stephen King and the Schwarzenegger film. And some cool vehicles and stuff like that. And I think we're going to be giving that a go for Christmas. That's going to be going on our Christmas list. Using Django in Wild West America. If you're into that kind of thing. It's one of these, like well, that kind of rule. It's like you roll a dice, if you get him, he's great. If you didn't roll the right dice, tough, you didn't get him. So, one die roll changes the whole game a bit. There's the Foundry figures, looking very cool. What are you looking at now? Oh, yes, well spotted, I'd forgotten. There he is, there's Santa with a bazooka.
Where? Let's see.
There we are. Oh, we're going to get all sorts of interruptions now.
Ah, he looks cool.
He does look cool, doesn't he? That's the one we should get for fighting the Krampus. Anyway, you lot, I'm doing this now, right?
Santa with a bazooka. Santa with a bazooka.
Playing war games with machine guns. Interesting, again, goes through different types of machine guns. 2-man, 3-man. How they were used. Light machine guns, you know, offensive weapons, defensive weapons. So, yeah, actually, more interesting stuff to find out about machine guns than I thought. Oh. Another very interesting article, Buffalo Soldiers. I guess follows on from last month. Yes, it does. From issue 361. Nick Puxey presents insight into a brave group of men who came to fight for their country. There's a Bob Marley quote. That's always a good bonus, isn't it? Bit of Bob Marley in there. Plus I put the music on. Some great eye candy, and a lot more of them than I realised. There's actually quite a large force, the Buffalo Soldiers, as they're called, sort of black Americans. And a lot of explanation about the Cherokee Wars and how they got wrapped up, what everyone went through, and there's a scenario in here where they kind of have to chase and then they get ambushed. So great, I mean it's everything you could want, especially if you combine it with last month's issue. How to make a machine gun nest, fairly basic version. Polystyrene and balsa woods. Right, now we go into this. Look at this, we've got a picture of Liz Hurley as well. Bob Marley lyrics, Liz Hurley pictures. I'm sold. And what I've done here, I've created a big game based on that episode. Which one was it again? Oh, I can't see the episode number now. Sharp's Enemy, that's it. And it's all done in 40mm. I would love to see that. Look at that. Woo! I mean, that would be impressive in 28mm. In 40mm, just imagine how gorgeous that must look. So lots of stuff on there. Right, this video's running long, but anyways, loads of pictures. Buy the magazine, have a look for yourself. How to make rusted armour. This stone wall again, I think they're called Stone Cold Lead. There we go, Steve Bradley. Quite interestingly, almost exact opposite of how I do it, so there we go. There's more than one way to do things. Right, Operation Hannibal, Germany's Dunkirk, World War II. Let's just say about Germans are trying to excavate, and there's a scenario. And it does bring up a bit of a tragic part of the war which people don't seem to be aware of, doesn't get much coverage. A huge number of German civilians and military were killed at the end of the war, trying to evacuate from East Prussia, and then the camps they put into afterwards. It kind of gets skipped for some reason. A lot of the German units that surrendered were put into starvation camps, but there you go. Not be too controversial, but it's I'm surprised to see something on that sort of topic in here. Right, another fascinating article, the Battle for Port Arthur, World War I, or just before. Now this is a battle I'm particularly interested in because I've quite interested in Riley, Ace of Spies. So if you know, he was there. It's one of his early episodes, spying. Who was he spying for? I'm still convinced he was a Russian double agent right till the end, and he played the British as fools. But there we are, he's useful for us as well. And all his anti-Bolshevik rhetoric, I think, was a ruse. But anyway, that's definitely for another video. Look at this scenery, incredible. I think it's TM Terrain they're called, who made it. David's name is. He does a YouTube channel which is very good. Oh, apologies. Yeah, that's right, David Marshall, TM Terrain. God, I'm doing well. There we go. Look at that. And what's great in here as well, he explains what most interesting part actually was explaining how there are different engine systems they use, different armour systems, different weapons. So it's not only a modelling article, it's all about that kind of, well, not really dreadnoughts, but large battleships era, and the design changes that took place. And that's where Riley came in, because his job was stealing, well, his prior mission was stealing plans, blueprints, predominantly of battleships from steelworks in Germany. And then he was there observing the movements of the ships. Anyway, I'm digressing. Right, visit to Foundry. Very interesting. Didn't realise what a big operation it is. I was thinking Wargames is also a pocket industry. This is a big operation. How many casts a day do they do? Thousands, tens of thousands. Anyway, long, interesting interview. This is just the kind of article I think we should see more of in miniature Wargames as well. Really gets into it, how they do it, some of the business, the scale of the business, all that kind of stuff. Bizarre article, climbing the lead mountain. Hang on, let's try to get that straight in the camera. Good for figure painters like myself, really. How to deal when you've got a big pile of figures to paint. So some tips in there. Motivational stuff. Alright, there's Varp Attack again. Did I get it right? Yes, I got it now. Varp Attack. Adverts, Artmaster Studios, naval ships from, let's give them the credit, Tumbling Dice. Should have written this one down. Oh, Adrian's Walls, beautiful stuff. And then we got Scottish Grendel Productions. Interesting. What's that say? Newsletter lottery. Free prize draw. Yeah, receive a free converted model. Colonel Bill's Christmas message.
Cool.
Thank you, Artie. Artie said it's cool. You know,
That big robot thing.
you can see I'm a Schwarzenegger fan. Oh, I thought you meant the girls in the Santa outfits. Oh, you mean the robot thing.
The
Okay.
robot thing is cool.
Don't get drawn back into 40k. Come away from the dark side.
It's not dark.
Cooler.
The dark side. Come and do proper wargaming. Right, we're almost there now. Moressa's children need attention. People are really concentrating on buildings. MDF world has gone crazy at the moment. And Sarissa, we've got Gunfighter's Ball. Just kind of, I don't know, gruesome fantasy westerns. More buildings here from, I don't know, to the USA. Can't say the name of it. Sally Forth. M&C Painting Service, another company. Small ads, can't go through all those. Fall in HMGS, which is another wargaming show on 3rd, 5th November, so that's long gone, don't worry, that's in there. And there are, oh, Foundry Christmas sale. Yeah. Lots of Santas and things. Oh, I'll have a look at that. I thought I'd look, I didn't see that. So perhaps it came live December.
Yeah.
So what do you get there? Buy 8 packs and get an additional 2 free.
Ooh.
Wow. Buy 16 packs and get 6 free, which works out 27% and free postage and packing.
Cool.
There you go, and there's some more stuff there. And that's it. So a bumper, big Christmas issue. Right, so how am I going to mark this issue overall? Well, there's loads of stuff into machine guns, was very good. Fabulous articles, the Frostgrave thing was great. I loved the Buffalo Soldiers article. So top marks with content, but you know, there's no ancients in here. There's nothing Napoleonics in here. There's no real fantasy as such in here. I'd put Ghost Archipelago more in the sci-fi genre. Or you could call it fantasy, I suppose. If it's in fantasy, then there's no... I suppose it was a bit of Napoleonics, wasn't there? Sorry, the big 40mm looking game. Apologies, there is... I guess it's Ancients really missing. Apart from that, it took a lot of reading. I mean, just for sheer value for money on the reading front, $4.95. It'll take you a long time to read this, and very interesting, and beautifully illustrated, and worth getting. So I hope you enjoyed that review. Happy Christmas. There will be more videos soon. There's been a bit of a gap because I'm kind of in training for the To The Strongest and the Basic Impetus 2 tournaments that are coming up. So I'm recording lots of game reports, practice games, but they'll come up after the tournament to make it keep my opponents happy. Otherwise no one will want to play me if I give it all away before the game. Alright, so it's early now, but maybe when you're watching this it's late, who knows. So happy Christmas, and hope you enjoyed December 17 issue. I know I did. Bye! Say goodbye, boys!
Bye bye!
Bye!
Bye!